Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I've got a video for you about Mercenary playlist in Black Ops 3, and if you don't know what a Mercenary playlist is, don't worry, I'll explain that. We haven't had those since COD 4, I think, and I do kind of miss them. The gameplay is very relevant because I'm going to go about as hard as I can possibly go on Meltdown Domination here, especially since I'm using the Type 25 with a suppressor. Slightly goofy gun, but I ended up liking it. Basically, I'm going to have the highest kill-death ratio, the most flags captured, most flags defended, most score streaks called in, and most enemy score streaks destroyed, but I'm still going to lose the game due to my team. Not that they're terrible or that they're bad, and I guess technically I am blaming them for a lot of things, but the other team is just a little bit better organized. They've got like a group of 3 and a group of 2 and then one random guy like me, and they're just working together so much better than we are, and you can't compete with that no matter how hard it is I slay people, and that's where the Mercenary playlist would be helpful. For those of you that have been playing Call of Duty for a long time, you might remember Mercenary TDM in COD 4. I think they also had Mercenary TDM in World at War, or maybe MW2, can't quite remember there, but essentially this is a mode where you go in solo only. You cannot go into this mode with a party. The party limit size is 1. So you'll go into TDM, just you, and you'll get matched up with a whole bunch of other random people that are also going in solo. So you get no, groups of 3, 4, definitely no full lobbies, nothing like that. If you do teamwork, you're doing it on your own merit, getting to know these people, meeting them in the lobby and kind of working with them like that. And typically it is Mercenary because you're solo. That's the idea. That's kind of the name behind it. You kind of go in on your own. You don't work together, etc., etc. And it's really, really good for solo players, which I'm becoming much more of lately. I haven't been partying up as much. I think a lot of my friends have moved on away from Xbox and onto PC, and we've had communication problems on the Xbone and stuff like that. But the question is, where did this playlist go? It was taken out of the game a long, long time ago. We haven't seen it since then. And I thought it was really nice because it really sucks going against a full team. And I used to do this a lot in Black Ops 2. Me and J-Hub would party up and smash people really hard. I actually had a whole series about not rage quitting because it would smash people so hard they would rage quit. And I didn't play a lot solo, but I did. And I have definitely been on the other side of things. I've experienced that playing against a full team by yourself, so no matter how good you do, you just can't win, and it's very, very, very frustrating. I know all of you have run into this experience. You just hop on, you have an amazing game, you go like 35 and 10 and cap all these flags and do all these objectives, but you can't compete with that like 4 or 5 man coordination. You're just not gonna win, and it's even worse in ranked play. When I go into league play in Black Ops 2 or ranked play in Advanced Warfare, and I'm going in solo, I kind of expect to get matched with people of similar rank, and I think in Black Ops 2 it also tried to match you with other solo players and not as much with full parties, but it was kind of wonky on that. So I mean, if there's no match, obviously it's just going to toss you in against a full party anyway. In ranked play, it was brutal because people work together all the time. They try hard, really, really hard, and it was very frustrating. Ranked play is a kind of Mercenary playlist. Like if you want to try hard, that's a pretty good place for it, but you still run into the same kind of problems. And this also increases other negative behaviors in the game that we probably don't like. It increases quitting. I mean, if you think about it, people that aren't going to play, if they're just going to get smashed by a full team, they'll go ahead and leave the game and quit. And as much as I'm against, quitting out of games, it is something that I understand. It's not like I sit here and I'm like, I have no idea why this isn't fun to get smashed by kill streaks all day long. No, that's miserable. Nobody wants to do that. So if you had more Mercenary playlist or more solo playlists, you would have less quitting. You'd probably also have a better player experience. So if a first-time player hops in this game and they go to domination, kind of like what I'm doing right now, and they run into like a group of 3 or 4 and they get wrecked, they're not going to like it very much, not really going to be likely to come back and play again. That's just kind of how it is. But if they went into a Mercenary playlist without all of those people, they'd have a better chance of performing better and enjoying the game, and I think that would be a good thing. So why would we not fix this by adding a Mercenary playlist into Black Ops 3? There's a reason for that. I'm going to get to it in just a second. I think the 2 playlists that would benefit most from it are probably TDM and Domination. TDM is by far the most common game mode when anybody first time plays this game, or they're just looking to go slay people. TDM is the way to go. That's what everybody plays. Domination is probably the second most casual, most popular game mode. It's one where teamwork and big teams can really kind of gum up the system as far as matchmaking goes. And if we were going to have Mercenary playlist, Mercenary TDM and Mercenary Dom would be a good place. I think it would help solo players a ton. It'd also help you meet people because you're going to have to use your mic to communicate. But the problem is there's already so many playlists in this game. You can see this problem in Black Ops 2, you can see it in Advanced Warfare and Ghost. There are just so many playlists, it very greatly divides the player base, and some playlists just don't have enough people in it to get good matches, but you have to leave it open, because one of the core things about Call of Duty is you can play it your way. You don't have to play TDM if you don't want to. You don't have to play objective games if you don't want to. You don't have to do anything except play the game modes that you want, and it'll automatically find you people to play with. But some modes have like 50 or 100 people in them, and if you're in one of those game modes, I mean, that's great for you, but we might have to scrap those in order to move things around. If you think about it, we already have Team Deathmatch, Domination, Hardpoint, CTF, Search and Destroy, Mosh Pit. We have gun games or party games. Those change up like Game of the Week or whatever, kind of like the one-shot playlist in Advanced Warfare. I think this had or Sticks and Stones. There's ranked play or league play. We have a hardcore variant for most of those. There's hardcore TDM, Ricochet, a couple of different objective modes. Then there's the DLC playlist, sometimes one, sometimes two DLC playlists. Sometimes you split up your core player base by what kind of DLC they have. Now we have Momentum, Uplink, all these, like so many different playlists. Ultimately, the player base gets divided, and some of those playlists just aren't as popular as the other ones, and it's really hard to get a good match, or any match for that matter of fact. So we need to reduce the total number of playlists. Here I am recommending we add a new solo playlist, so there's definitely a careful balance there. There's like a reason these were taken out, there's a reason they're not as popular anymore, and I understand that. But it would be something that would be kind of cool to have back, but we gotta do, I mean, we gotta balance. If you think about it, let's say even if there's 1 million players online, which we haven't seen 1 million players online since, like, I think MW3 launch, like launch night on MW3 had about 1.1 or 2 million players online. That was near the max I've ever seen. If you have 20 playlists, which isn't that unreasonable, and there have been games with like 25 or 30 playlists depending on the time of year and how they break it up, 1 million divided by 20 is only 50,000 people per playlist, and that's assuming a perfectly even spread. If you had a less than even spread, you'd have some with like 100 or 200,000 and some with like, I don't know, like 50 to 100, 200 people. So you gotta be careful with that. You gotta be really, really careful with that. This is just an idea that I had, just something that I kind of missed. And now that I'm becoming more of a solo player and less of a team kind of guy, it's something that really stands out as missing from the Call of Duty series that I used to play. A friend of mine in college used to play the Mercenary playlist all the time. Like that was his thing. I didn't do it as much, but I watched him play it, and he was a solo guy. He did not do team. He does still to this day, he doesn't do teamwork or big parties or anything. And it was a huge thing for him. Now when he jumps in, he doesn't like getting smashed by big teams. He likes solo. And you're just like, oh, we'll just play free-for-all. Well, not everybody wants to play free-for-all all the time, because that's a really chaotic mode. Guys, that's really kind of all for this video. I hope that you've enjoyed it. I hope that you've enjoyed listening to my opinions, even though it's another Black Ops 3 suggestion video. As I said earlier, I think I just do these because I enjoy playing Black Ops 2 and getting Black Ops 2 game. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.